This episode of the Long Run Podcast is sponsored by Skechers.
Oh, we are there. Sorry. Evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm just going to let the viewers know and listeners know that they've changed, and Speako when he's on next week, they've changed the layout, the stuff that we use. So we've got this like streaming thing, and every week they keep changing something, and it's totally thrown out. In fairness, I probably should have jumped on not literally just 2 minutes beforehand. I probably should have come. Why are you all nodding? Anyway, doesn't matter. But I'm here. How is everybody? Welcome to the chaos. There's a Long Run Show. This award-winning podcast and live stream that we record live on YouTube. Make sure you're all subscribed to all that sort of stuff. Tonight, we are going to be unboxing the Berlin Marathon. We've got some other things to talk about as well. But we are going to be unboxing the Berlin Marathon, so stick around for that. We'll talk about our own sort of, to reference Hayden, adventures. We shall do that in a bit. Okay, so before we do that, we've got to give a shout out to our sponsors at Skechers. Thank you very much to Skechers. Get over to skechers.co.uk. We've got the Hobbits here, Ben's here, Marissa's here, I'm here. I think that's it. Say good evening, team, and I'm going to carry on.
Good evening. Team.
Good evening.
Oh God, you've got a lively bunch, haven't you? What else do I need to tell you? We are recording this live, so get your questions and comments in if you're watching this live. Whether you want to know about the Berlin Marathon, whether you've got a race coming up and you want to talk about that, whatever it is, or you just want to sit back, listen, and relax, crack on with that. We're happy to have you all here with us. Right, we've also got to give a shout out to Start Finish. Use the code 40 rounds. You're going to get some money off of there. Kendall Mint Company. Use the code 40 rounds. You're also going to get some money off there. Shoe Socks. Use the code 4015. You'll get 15% off. And what else do we need to plug before I can really get stuck in? Oh, if you've got a spring race, check out our coaching. So get over to 40rounds.com/coaching. If you want help with next year and all that sort of stuff, check that out because our group coaching is opened for next year. All our students are sort of going because they're all finishing their races and killing it, by the way. And if you want to get involved in our group coaching, it's a really good, I would say, relatively affordable way of doing it. Right, okay, so I think that's it. How's everybody doing? We all good? I've got light issues here. Everyone okay?
Yep, good.
Gosh, you lot are gonna have to liven up. Honestly, if you wasn't in other areas, I'd get in my car, come around and give you all a good kicking because this is not acceptable. Energy levels, people, need to go up. All right,
we're all knackered. We've been on for about 15 minutes. You decided to come on with about 8 seconds to go. I saved you energy.
I can't help the technical problems. Honestly, I've got this green folder thingy. I've got no idea what it is.
It's probably Dr. Pepper.
What? No Dr. Pepper tonight. But I have.
Here we go.
This is. I'm holding up to the camera. This is Audi's Coca-Cola. We're going to try it for the first time tonight. Interesting, right? It is a good point. Absolutely, totally unrelated to anything. Right? If I sung a song or hated it, because obviously he used to be in a boy band. If he sung a song on here, would that get us a copyright strike?
Yeah, that's why I don't do it.
Is that why you don't do it, Hayden? So if you started singing one of your songs from in your band 6, we'd get a copyright strike.
Yeah, I don't want to put that on the Long Run Show. So yeah, it's best off I just keep quiet.
The other week when we played Hayden's theme tune, that's what made me think about it. I was thinking because I was singing a bit of this song. I won't sing it, but basically it's a really good song.
Listen, we got to stop this. You have got a real unhealthy obsession with like Hobbits and Lord of the Rings and Frodo. There's something not right. Every day you're searching. He sends me stuff on TikTok. You don't even see it. Most of the time it doesn't even get shared. It just sends me like people like in this orchestra at the Royal Albert Hall and they're playing Hobbit
your theme tune.
But you know they sell Hobbit biscuits in Berlin.
I know, I saw them. You pointed them out to me very kindly. Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome. I should have bought some.
I am going to take it a different way to start the show tonight, if that's okay with you. By the way, if you're joining us now, welcome. We're recording this live. Get in the chat comments. Yeah, we want to hear from you. We'll try and get to some of you. We are going to be unboxing Berlin. We're going to be talking about different our different adventures in Berlin. But I do want to take it to a serious point, and then we're going to come back to complete carnage. Is that all right with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an email today, and we get a lot of emails. I get a lot of emails, but we do get a lot of emails, and I get a lot of DMs, especially on Instagram. People wanting information for free.
Sorry.
Mainly Ben. No, I'm joking. But and I, as someone who's out there on social media, obviously I get a lot of hate and trolls and all that sort of stuff, right? There was a guy on one of Hayden's videos, for example, who started out Hayden because he wore a FORDY run, so the bloke's a complete helmet. But so we get a lot of hate, yeah, because of obviously the way we are and the way we go about things differently to the norm. But I want to just share with something that I got that was really rather nice, actually. I'm not going to name the person. So I just want to read this out because it was really nice and really made me sort of proud of the stuff that we do on this show. I know 99.9% of the time I am cocking about and we are absolutely mucking about, okay? But what you guys are doing, and I wanted to share this with you and everybody else. So back in April, I was a complete non-runner following a diagnosis of bowel disease and declining mental health. I set myself the challenge of running 5K. Once I achieved that, I aimed for 10K. Then I ran the Vitality 10K at the end of September. Post-race, I felt a little lost as I'd run the race and achieved the goal. I'm a busy working mum of two, and I don't know where to go next with my running. Then someone mentioned I should listen to your podcast. I instantly connected with the everyday runner message, and that is what I am. I felt motivated to find my next challenge. I've now signed up to do the London Landmarks Half on behalf of the Calm charity, which is an amazing charity, and just ran a PB this morning. So really, it's just an email to say thank you for helping find some direction and motivation to continue my running journey. Now, that's not bollocks. That's absolutely true, okay? And that just shows you the sort of lives, and we genuinely are changing. So well done, all of you, for this podcast, because it's not just us, it's you listeners as well and viewers and stuff like that. So I just want to say thank you. That was a genuine email, and put it in the front end before we start getting.
I'll just say, Chris, I like the reference to the everyday runner, and just looking in the comments straight away, the absolute epitome of the everyday runner and the absolute legend. He is in the house. We have got Alex with us. We have got Herm Runs listening tonight. So big congratulations to him for last week. I know loads of you have done the marathon, but I just wanted to give him a big shout out. Yeah, absolute great effort last week.
I love that, man.
Up to the shakeout run, brilliant.
Yeah, if you don't know who Herm Runs is, check him out. I've done a podcast with him. Check him out. He's a gent. So make sure you check out his stuff as well. So thank you, Alex, as well. We love you here. Okay, right. So back to the carnage. Hayden, what's this about you getting a tattoo for your Ironman that you're doing?
What this is more lies. Every single day. Ben approached me and said, do you fancy doing an Ironman? I said, to be honest, no, not really. Do you? And he went, no, not really, but I just want the tattoo.
You want the tattoo?
This was Ben. This was Ben that stated
no,
this.
sorry. Marissa, correct me right? So let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree. As far as I was aware, this is what Hayden said. He wants to do a half Ironman so he can get the Ironman tattoo. Is that what we heard? Is that what he said, Ben?
I thought he said he wanted to do a half Ironman so he could get half the tattoo and then do another half.
You've got
and then get the other half.
So is he going to do 2 half Ironmans but then get the tattoo? Is that what he said to you?
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So can you let us know whether you think
a half on each leg?
Don't forget he's got very short legs.
I was going to say it wouldn't fit on one leg, so.
And remember, he wears them sort of like longer corduroy trousers, you know. But can you let us know? Just email in ironman@gmail.com whether you think Hayden should be allowed a Ironman tattoo. If he's only doing
this just feels like I'm sitting back in my car listening to this when I'm not on. I'm actually here. I'm actually here in the bottom left corner, and you're still ripping the absolute piss out of me.
We're not ripping the piss. These are stories that came out of Berlin.
These are lies. These are stories and lies. Exactly.
Stories. Right, getting it back on, tact, straight and narrow. Park Run's 20th birthday's this weekend. Anybody going to Park Run here tomorrow?
Yep.
Which one are you going to, Marissa?
Obviously.
Oh?
Frimley.
Where's that?
Frimley.
Where's that?
Lodge.
Camberley.
Camberley.
Oh, I like Camberley.
I'm meeting up with the
Hayden.
lot.
So I'm adjusting the lights because I forgot to turn that light on. Again, 2 minutes behind. Hayden, where are you park running tomorrow?
I am park running at Non-Such Park, local one for me tomorrow.
And Ben?
Either Stevenage or Canterbury.
Okay.
Depends on
so-
the situation.
If you didn't know, Parkrun's birthday is actually tomorrow. It was the Saturday that started it all 20 years ago. We did a Parkrun special of this show. So check that out. It was a bit of a standing up for Parkrun because it's been getting a bit of a hard time. So check that out. But yeah, Parkrun's 20 years this year. I think just touch on it very quickly. I think it's changed. We said about I read the email out, but I think it's genuinely changed a lot of people's lives. I think it was interesting this week seeing all the celebrities doing like a message to Parkrun and all this sort of stuff. Getting them involved, which was kind of cool. And just hearing about some of the stories where it really has just generally changed people's lives. I think it's pretty awesome. Physical wellness and all that sort of stuff. It's all good. Right. So moving on, we've got a lot of races this weekend, haven't we? I think it's like we're proper knee deep into race season. Hayden, what are you racing this weekend?
I have got local races. One Kingston Half Marathon this weekend.
Marissa, are you there or are you somewhere else?
I'm in Cardiff. Lottie's first half marathon.
Okay, so how's she feeling about that?
Okay. She's nervous, really nervous, but she's fine. She's done all the training.
And it's not just a normal half marathon, is it? Super.
Oh no, it's a super half. Yeah, obviously my daughter has to do a super half.
Just explain to the listeners what the super halves are if they've missed that over the few weeks.
So it's a series of 5 or 6 races. You can do 5 without Berlin, but they've just added Berlin. It's Prague, Copenhagen, Valencia, Cardiff, which is strange. What's Lisbon. The other ones?
Lisbon.
Come on, boys.
I kind of think it's cool that they don't have like a London one on there. I think that's actually kind of awesome in a way.
I do think Cardiff's a little strange.
Yes and no, but I think it's good that it's not your norm. Like, I think that's kind.
I'm glad it's not London as
I think
well.
I think Cardiff or stick something in like I don't know Birmingham or not Manchester because Manchester's got the marathon stuff, but something a bit different. I think it's kind of awesome actually.
It's good. And they're fairly reasonable compared to a marathon.
We've got a big contingent there. There's another race. Oh, we've got Chester Marathon this weekend. Chester Marathon this weekend. And then next weekend, which we'll talk about next weekend, is obviously Chicago and stuff like that. You three are going out to Chicago, aren't you?
Certainly are.
Are you going to the Bear restaurant?
The Bear
or is that make believe?
That's make believe, Scott. Where's the Bear restaurant? Who told you about that?
Is it not? Is it like that someone not like opened up a real one, like of the Bear?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'll go hunting for a bear.
Sheffield half.
We'll let you know.
Right, let's just have a quick look through because I want to get on to Berlin. Hang on.
Most of the comments are just about me getting an Iron Man tattoo.
Are you getting one?
Are you getting one?
No, I never asked.
Live on the show.
Live on the show.
That would make a good episode.
Actually, if you go back to the very first comment, someone's said, "Good evening. How long is it going to be till Ben is the fastest Ben on YouTube?" And even though our Ben is absolutely awesome and incredible, there's a long way to go to beat old Mr. Ben Felton. I think you're going to find.
Yeah, it was nice to see Ben actually, other Ben, on race morning. Give him a shout.
We walked up to the start of him, didn't we?
And then I wonder if he went and had a poo in the woods. I like this. Is Hayden tall enough to have a tattoo? Would mean he'd need a stepladder to get on the bed.
I don't know.
Oh, look. Yeah, but they've done it on his arms because they can do it like bending down. No Iron Man tattoo until you've done the full.
Agreed.
So, but to be fair, Hayden, I reckon you could do the full.
Listen, you stop going on about that. Why don't you step up and you go and do an Iron Man or a half Iron Man? Come on, let's see you do it.
I'm doing next year. You said I got.
You're doing a triathlon.
No, you said something else.
What did I say?
What did you say? You said to me the other day, I've got to do this this thing. What's it called with Puma?
Oh, what is it? High Rocks.
I'm doing High Rocks next year.
I'd love to see that.
We're gonna tag team.
What do you mean? Can you tag team High Rocks?
You can do it as a relay.
Can you? What does that mean? I can do bugger all and you do it all?
No, no. we do four stations each.
What do you mean station?
Oh, you might want to Google what High Rocks is now. That
you might want to. You might
I've
wanna
seen
watch
it all
the
on
video.
TikTok. You've got to be 27 and you've got to be dressed in black and wear CBD oil.
There you go.
Most of them aren't dressed in black. Most of them are bare topped.
Even better. Even better.
What? You don't need to wear a top.
You don't need
Why
to wear
have I
it.
not
Better
gone
be in his
before?
element. You won't get him out of the place. He'll do 10 high roxes. So I'm doing a high. Hey, you can do a high rocks with me next year.
I'll give it a go. Why not?
Can't be that hard, can it?
No, I don't think so.
Is there a thing for like over 70s that you can go into?
That's probably detox about Hydrox.
The bear restaurant is real, apparently, Hayden. You got it wrong.
So I
Let's
take
go.
it this is what's this? It's to do the Chicago Bears. I take it maybe.
No, have you not seen the
No.
bear restaurant? The thing on
No,
TV.
I've seen Cocaine Bear. Is it the same?
Similar. No, but honestly, have you not seen the bear on Disney? Oh, Hayden, it's so good.
Never seen the bear. No.
No, you need to. Marissa, have you seen it? Dude, you
No,
like
I
Hayden?
have
If somebody
no
loves
idea what
Chicago,
you're
you need to watch that show. It's so good.
I just got to watch my cameras at the house in Florida and I see the bear.
You
That's
see
not a
Cocaine
problem
Bear.
at all.
Yeah, honestly, Hayden, you need to post a video of that on Instagram. Hayden's got this bear. He's place in Florida. Honestly, it's as big as the house.
It's menacing me.
I reckon
It is
that's
big.
just when your neighbour's dressing up and just walking around and don't like you. It's the noise you make. That's for the bits. Well, anyway, look. Thanks to everybody who's commented. I didn't see half of them. Most of them were hammering Hayden for getting a tattoo after he's done a half Ironman. There was some comments about Berlin, and I think we best dive into that because it was an epic weekend. And this week we're not. I don't want to necessarily focus on sort of the marathons and that sort of stuff. I want to focus on our own individual stories from that weekend. Kind of, look at it a little bit more unique and that sort of way. Whatever way you look at it, running a marathon is bloody hard, right? And I think I was really disappointed with the Berlin Marathon this year. How over marketed, over mediaized, over Instagrammed, and how saturated full of basically bullshit the whole weekend was in terms of brands and all this sort of stuff. It was more about the marketing than the running. I think the fact that it was the 50th, it was lost somewhere. Maybe that was just my perception, but I think it got lost a bit. How special that is that it was the 50th. So I don't know. I just felt like this year was so commercialized. And I know all these big races are getting more and more commercialized, right? As we're all sitting here in Adidas tops. You know what I mean? But it's I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought the whole thing was sort of, well, it just kind of it lost a bit of its shine versus even last year because it was so commercialized. All the bollocks around, and so many people like doing all the stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm just miserable. What guys? What do you think?
I think you kept saying about over. There's one word you missed out, and that's I think oversubscribed, and I think that might have caused a bit of an issue with it as well. I think they maybe saturated it a little bit. I know they wanted the world record, etc. But as you said before, they're taking off the focus of the running a little bit.
Yeah.
Thinking, this is an event. Look, we want to show the world the event, not we want to put on an event for people. I felt I sort of got that feeling about it.
It felt like
The expo was a sham. Absolute. The expo. It was
And the start pen.
Nightmare.
I thought. To be honest with you, I thought that the expo, the security were rude. The organisers were rude. Like the fact that geezer, they literally frog marched you through the Adidas store, and if you hadn't bought something, basically the geezer looked at you like he was going to murder you. I thought that was a bit strong. They wouldn't let you back in. Like we wanted to go back. Because we've missed something. And the geezer was so damn right. All right, he's probably having a bad day. Fair play to him, right? And again, I'm not the easiest person to get on with, but it wasn't just me. It was just being rude to everybody, manhandling people. I don't know. There was just something about it. They Sports Tours completely cocked up the baggage drop for us. They just cancelled it because they couldn't be bothered to tell us. They cancelled all the baggage claim. People weren't given T-shirts that would have paid for T-shirts through Sports Tours. And there was no help from anybody to try and figure that out, which I thought was terrible. It was just total carnage everywhere you went. I don't know, and I'm basing that on what I saw last year, which was a brilliant expo, really well organised with really friendly people, and it was really nice to get in, get out of, and all that sort of stuff. Again, I don't know whether that was just me. I'm happy to, so I'm not saying that be put off by that. Hopefully it goes back to normal next year because, Adidas obviously spent a lot of money on hyping the place up. But I don't know.
I think to Hayden's point there, I think it was just oversubscribed. It was almost like they had the same number of stalls and people operating and stuff like that. Even the Adidas shop, like it just seemed that they had catered and staffed it for a regular Berlin Marathon, but had massively oversubscribed it. So wherever you look, there were just people and queuing and barging, and and we'll talk about it out on course. But seeing some of the comments in terms of that first half was busy and really tightly packed, and the water. God, don't get us started on the water station.
Yeah, we'll come on to that. We'll come on.
But you look, and even at again at the start, there weren't extra toilets. There weren't. It was almost. I think. Yeah.
Toilets
So
were
I just think
nightmare.
Hayden hit the nail on the head. Oversubscribed, but treated it as if it was a normal year for the actual experience.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a major. It felt like a circus. Do you know what I mean? To me, it felt like a circus. It didn't feel like a major, World Marathon major. I don't know. It just lost its. It just lost some of its shine.
Well, to be fair, I only went back in a way because of you guys from last year. So I done it 2 years ago, and I wasn't that impressed with it. And I didn't think the course was that great. I didn't think the expo was great. Out of all the 6, it was definitely. I always say it was definitely the worst. And then you guys went last year, and the reports come out from
I
you
loved
guys
it last year.
and I just thought maybe I missed something. Maybe it's only my second major abroad. I thought I need to go back and get this one done. So I went back there with real high hopes, and unfortunately, I've come away. Some of your points, I think, I agree with some of them. The sports tours thing, I actually had quite a good experience. Sports tours, it went okay. I thought the after party with them was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that was good.
There's a few things. There was a few bits and pieces good, but I agree with a few people in the comments there. The expo was badly organised. That shop, the queue, 2 hours to queue up to get merch that you can go down the local shop and buy anyway. The local Adidas shop, which seems a bit crazy to me.
And then not given a bag.
Yeah.
They literally refused to give
I shouldn't
you
say it. People say, I know, I'm
Just
a man
like,
of the
what?
people and all this crap. I know that. But listen, I spent €500 in the store, yeah? So, because I was buying stuff for other people because they didn't want to queue up. So I said, I'll do the queuing up. You lot go and look around. I got given this pile of clothes like this. She gave them back to me, paid the money, €500. I said, have you got a bag? She just went, no. I went, okay. I need a bag. I can't carry it out. She said, no bag. I mean, no, I need a bag or something. She said, buy one. That was it. She wanted me to buy like a €20 bag, not like a plastic bag. No, I had to walk out holding clothes like this. Just walk out with it.
To be fair, he's going to gamma fat. But like, for example, he got my T-shirt for me because I forgot to get it. So don't go nuts on him spending £500. He did. He got a lot of people stuff.
It was about 4 or 5 people stuff.
Yeah,
but literally, to be fair, top was like about €60-70. So it weren't the jacket was €120.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So don't go completely too food on him. I'm the first to do it. But yeah, I think also it pisses me off the fact that you're getting your finishers T-shirt and all that beforehand. That I'm just a bit traditional like that. I mean, everyone up to their own. I don't know. I just think the whole experience, and we'll come on to the races. That's why I wanted to get this out of the way first. We want to talk about the individual stuff, but I just think it's lost its shine. There's too much bullshit around it. Adidas have overhyped it, and they're guilty as the organisers trying to push it down everybody's throat. It didn't feel like a major. It was such a shame that the 50th event was lost and diluted through Adidas's inherent relentless marketing machine, and I just think it's a real shame. And I just pray that the other major events, and those ones just be like, don't go down that route as well and choke it to death with influencers and choke it to death with all that other bollocks that's just overtaken running at the moment. When I see all that spray, run clubs sprayed on the floor to like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, guys, this is a World Marathon major. This is where people's dreams are made. People have wanted to do this race around the world for all their life, and they've trained for it. It's the pinnacle of what they want to do, and that lot. And you've got stuff like that. I don't know. It's just a little bit disappointing. But let's put that to one side, because I think to focus actually on the running, which is I think the important part, right? And again, if you joined us a little bit late, get your comments in and joining, and we'll try and get to them if we get a chance. But I think I want to talk individually now about our adventures on to put it to funny way, because it's hard. I think it's hard from a picture or a post to get the real story of what that marathon, those 26.2 miles felt or how it was for you, sort of thing. So I thought that's what we'd talk about a little bit different. So I want to start. I'll start ladies first. Marissa.
Oh, really? I knew you were going to start with me.
Well, I'm a gentleman. I can't help being old school. As somebody who's self-confessed, who's quite happy to say she hates running, even though every time you say it, I want to punch you. But I won't punch you in the face because it's too nice your face. I'll punch you in the arm.
Thanks.
But I'd rather you be Mrs. Positive than Mrs. Negative. But no,
Okay.
I'm joking. But as somebody who says that they don't particularly care much for running, but does a very good job at it, what was your race? Talk us through, how it was for you. Why I turned my light on.
It wasn't actually great. I didn't have a great lead up to it. I don't know, anxiety, whatever I get. Not been in the best of health, so it wasn't great. But I was hoping to go for 5:15, and I knew within 2K it wasn't going to be my race, so I just decided to get through it, and that was it really. Lots of stops, shall we say, along the way, but yeah, it was all right. It was fine. I kept seeing people, and yeah, it's done. Do you know what? It's done. I'm not worrying about it anymore. We go on to Chicago. Yeah.
Okay. How do the legs feel?
Oh my God, my legs are killing me. Absolutely killing
Well, you have
me.
just run a marathon.
Yeah, I know, but to do it again next week, I'm a little bit worried. But yeah, they're better than they were after sitting on a plane for 4 hours waiting to take off.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The whole weekend in terms of travel was a bit weird as well. It was like a complete carnage. I don't think that helped in terms of.
No, it was mental.
I will touch on it briefly because people are coming on. Ben spoke about it before we get to Hayden. The aid stations, right? Because you may have seen if you're listening to this as a podcast in the live comments, everybody's hammering the aid stations or the water stations or whatever you want to call it. Now, firstly, they are the worst aid stations in a marathon I've ever experienced in my life. There seemed to be, and I might be wrong, there seemed to be no right or reason exactly when they would turn up on course. So you couldn't plan any sort of like hydration strategy. You couldn't say, oh yeah, I'm going to drink at the next, 5K, right? It's just a
surprise.
Yeah. No, it's like that geezer off a CB, isn't it? Then, see what I did there? You'll remember that. What was his name, Mr.
Tumble?
Mr. Tumble. Hello. Yeah, so they would just turn up, and it would be absolute. And I'm not just saying this, and I'm not over dramatizing it. Total and utter carnage. I saw one geezer get pushed over, and he was bigger than Big Ben, and he got pushed over. There was like these smaller ladies going in like assassins and pushing you out of the way. There was people, just pushing over cups because they just couldn't be bothered to wait. Some people doing it by accident. Some people would like literally physically try and move you. And then you had plastic cups that I learned after, by the way, because Kafuzi Mike, a friend of mine, I saw him afterwards, and he was telling me that the plastic's actually biodegradable, so it breaks down and all that sort of stuff. Because we was moaning about why didn't they have bottles instead of cups, sort of thing, in terms of sustainability. But they're made from a recycled material that breaks down, apparently, biodegrades or something.
That's not true. It's not true.
That's
not
what
the
Mike said.
Throughout the course, did you go to the last water station at all?
No, not that one. I'm talking about the other one.
Right, okay.
I'm talking about the clear ones. I'll come on to that, which is a funny story.
Yeah.
Is that the one, Ben, you tried to kill someone with one of the cups?
Possibly. Can't confirm or deny.
But anyway, before all that, the clear ones, apparently they're biodegradable. So give them better. But they're all over the floor. So it's total carnage. God only knows what it's like for the people who are doing like 7-hour marathons.
At the back.
Honestly. And the noise and it was like you was running. Have you ever seen that Squid Game where they have to do something and like the last person dies? It was like that. It's like a gauntlet run when you went through the aid station. Not only are your fellow runners trying to kill you, the organisers trying to kill you. It was total and utter carnage.
And it was, do you think it was because, like, as you said, it was, you didn't know they were coming up. So suddenly they just appeared. They were all, bar the first couple that were on both sides, all of them were just on the right-hand side.
Yeah, all on the right side. So you'd have to cut
everyone suddenly just veered to the right, cutting, no care consideration for the person behind it. And it genuinely, like you said, it was chaos and carnage.
And I don't know whether it was just like, I might be wrong, but like nobody, other than a few English people and a few American people, right? No one else gave a shit about anybody other runner. They were like, F you, I'm going in and getting that. I don't care whether you're another human being or not. To me, you're just a piece of shit on the bottom of my foot. I'm going to get that cup and you're in my way. There was honestly physical contact. Like people were physically pushing people. I played a game which I can't repeat on here.
No, you can't.
But I got really quite irritated, and I had to have a talking to myself because I was wasting energy getting somebody with newer device as me was getting really rolled up about it. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to chill out today and let these morons carry on. But I've never experienced rudeness and physical, abuse like that from fellow runners who should all be ashamed of themselves. Because it takes 2 seconds to go, like I do. Oh, I'm just coming in to get some water. I put my hand up and then, look behind me, check I'm not going to, and then get it, and then walk on a little bit, then drink it. So I'm out of everybody's way and carry on. Yeah. And apologize to everybody around me because I'm English, right? So I'm just apologizing to everybody because that's the British way. But all these other people are just rude. And they all need to be told off. So I don't know. Hayden, did you experience the same thing?
Yeah. I'm quite, I suppose, lucky. I don't know what it is, but I don't hydrate that much during a marathon.
Is that why you're so
I
small?
think, yeah, exactly why I don't need to. I only literally went into, I think, 2 water stations, possibly maybe a third one. I just take a few sips. Quite like it. So in a way, indirectly, it worked good for me. The fact that it was all on one side, because as soon as the station come up, I literally just veer completely to the other side to stay out of the carnage. But looking over, as you said, it is an absolute massive hazard. Them cups on the floor, they are everywhere there.
Yep.
And and it is from runners as well. Listen, I'm not guilty of it, but probably a lot of runners are. When you take that drink, just throw it to the side. Just wait till you get further up. Put it in the bin
there.
to go straight on the floor. It's disgusting. No need.
Just put them in the bloody bin.
And there was a geezer in front of me. He had two. He had two, and he just dropped them on the floor.
That's unbelievable.
And again,
it's the ones that are running and then stop. They literally stop, and then they walk over to get their water, and you're like, "Why have you stopped? What are you doing? Move!"
Absolute. And again, I don't blame. Right. Okay. Yes, as runners, we need to be kinder to each other. But we're in the heat of the moment. We're in battle. We maybe not be thinking 100% straight. Okay. So I'll give everybody a bit of, not a pass, because you shouldn't be rude to people. And you shouldn't be pushing people. That's just not right. But I move a little bit because we're all in that moment. Again, I blame 100% Adidas and the organisers for creating a total shit show in the aid stations. You need to sort that out. They won't, because they won't listen to this. But I'm just pre-warning everybody who wants to go and do Berlin Marathon. It was a total and utter joke. The last aid station had hard plastic cups, which I never ever understand. But basically, what they turn into is missiles, right? So they arm them. They give them to you. They go, there you go, boss. Thanks very much. And the volunteers, by the way, all lovely, not their fault at all. Brilliant people. They give it to you. Go, there you go. Cheers, mate. And then you've got a hard plastic cup that you have to dispose of. Now, again, people aren't thinking straight, so they drop them on the floor. It's like basically like you're then on roller skates for, at mile 23 or wherever it was, when your legs are completely ruined and shot to pieces. You're now trying to navigate, not dying at mile 23. Honestly, the organisers, SCC Events and Adidas, they should all go into a meeting room and then us lot go in there and say to them, you lot are a complete and utter joke. It is total disbelief that I come away from that race. I would not recommend it to anybody. I think it's a disgrace. And I think the aid stations need to be changed. The organisation needs to be changed. The amount of toilets at the start is a joke. The whole pens and everything else is a joke. Everything. The whole thing, Berlin Marathon, I wouldn't bother doing it if it was me.
The medal was nice.
That said,
good. Medal.
Let's get on to because the running bit was all right.
And the thing is, though, you say the medal, right? If you got
No,
the right
medal's good.
date on your medal.
Yeah, you pay. Yeah,
Then
they
that-
did get the
yeah,
right dates
yeah.
in the middle.
Yeah.
So, look, just to top that off, because I do want to get onto our own individual stories. Haydel, I know you didn't like Tokyo, but what was worse, the 2024 Berlin Marathon Adidas marketing shit show or the Tokyo Marathon? What was worse?
100% Berlin, but Tokyo isn't even as bad as the Berlin Marathon done 2 years ago. Out of all of them two Berlins both sit at the bottom, whereas this one probably even further below than one I done it 2 years ago.
I think
Definitely.
you either do one of two things. You either take the money, Adidas, that you made and Berlin Marathon events or whatever you made, and you increase the amount of toilets, sort the aid stations out, sort the organisation out, or you reduce the numbers.
Reduce the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a bad thing. There's a lot of roadworks on the course and stuff like that. Which again, they can't help, right? But I think from a safety point of view, it was questionable in places. And I was lucky enough to be near the start. So again, I don't know, it must have been awful. But yeah.
Bad.
So I think you have to make a decision. You either use the money that you've absolutely coined off of everybody and you put that into improving the infrastructure in number 51, or you reduce the numbers down a little bit. Because I think there's something has to happen.
And if you're London Marathon events and you're listening to this, which you probably aren't, but if you are, you need to take a good look at it, have a look over all the videos, look at everything, because what they've just done is what you are aiming for. And by you increasing their numbers to ridiculous next year for London Marathon, you're heading down the same path, I'm afraid. You're running on the same roads with an extra 6,000 or 7,000 people. So you're going to get the same story.
I'll give London Marathon events credit. Their organisation, apart from when they sent everyone to the expo to get COVID, who already hadn't had COVID, to get you to do that, I've never understood that, and why they don't send the numbers out in the post to save, all the petrol and the diesel that we're spending to get to the expo. But I think they do. The London Marathon is phenomenal. I think in terms of the 7 or whatever, 6 or whatever I've done in most whatever. Never had it's been brilliant.
Yeah, but the numbers have been controlled. That's my point. They're competing with each other now. Everyone knows they want to be the biggest marathon. Berlin have just done it, taking over from Paris. We all know London next year. That's what they want. They want to be the biggest.
I'm wondering whether they'll stick, because then I might be wrong, but because they're not doing it for greed, they're doing it because they want that world record. I'm hoping, and I believe that they will put the infrastructure in place.
Yeah,
to cope with it. Greenwich is obviously a huge area, and you've got the wave starts a little bit more rolling and things like that. Hopefully they don't strike on the trains like they tend to do and all that sort of thing. But I would say the organisation, and again, New York was brilliant, the organisation. I thought that was amazing. The organisation, to bust all those people, ferry those people out, it just shows you, and the out on course was just brilliant in terms of the way they organised that. And that's tight in places, but they still managed to do it perfectly well, yeah? I don't know. There's just something there. If you said to me, FORDY, should I do the Berlin Marathon? Based on this year, I would say no. Go and run around your park for 26.2 miles. You'll have a better time. Now,
it's harsh.
It's not harsh. It's true. It's true. I'm not making. This is my own opinion, by the way. I'm totally entitled to it. I wasn't, there on a ticket or anything. I'll say what I like, and it is true. None of this. I'm not making this up. It is true. I don't think I've seen many positive comments come out of it.
Can I give one bit of kudos as well? And I don't know if this is the marathon or how this works, or it's their government. But actually, above the medal and everything else, the best thing about the Berlin Marathon weekend, and you can't comment because I know you would never use it. Honestly, their public transport system being for free is absolutely fantastic. Their trains are absolutely brilliant. And that's one bit of kudos I've definitely got.
Yeah, fair. Fair play to them. Always both sides of the argument. I didn't use it because I don't like it. But in fairness to them, they do give you free transport.
Yeah, it's good.
Kudos for that. So well done for that.
It is good if you go the right way.
or if you use it at all. But yeah, no, so kudos to that. I've gone 2-footed on them, but fair play to them for that. That was good. Oh, by the way, the queue for the poncho thing, that was also a joke. And the lack of sort of electrolyte drinks and stuff like that afterwards, I wasn't impressed about that as well. But that's me finished moaning out. So, spent 30. Hayden, you've moaned about them for 40 minutes. This is not going to be a good episode.
I haven't moaned. I've stuck up for him. It's you. You're on one.
Nothing. I ain't said nothing. I don't think I have.
And nothing positive.
Am I going to get a lawsuit? Right. Anyway, in terms of your race, Hayden, you was meant to run.
Right.
You was meant to run 3:10. What?
I thought you. So the lights go down. You get this serious face on, and then you come out with some crap straight away. Look, you just can't help it, can you?
And get a tattoo afterwards, right?
Yeah, get to 3:10.
Yeah.
No, all right. So look, we're running out of time because you've been ranting and raving. How was your race, generally? Seriously, right? How? I mean, to run 3:19 is considering the age you are, is epic. I mean,
Yeah. Listen, I've always. It's not. I mean, so you'd say it's not about the times. For me, honestly, it always is about. It's not even about the enjoying. I'm not going to say all that. For me, it's about the performance. And I think if you perform well, you've always got justification for it. And I'd like to come across the finish line and think, do you know what? I found that easy. I performed that really well. I'm happy with that. Up until 32K, felt absolutely fantastic, felt amazing and performed well. It was good. Hit that 32K and literally, I think it was kilometre 33. I didn't hit my target pace. And that got in my head. I was only off by about 6 seconds. That was the first one where I'd gone over and it got in my head. But the next one was 8 seconds over. Then it was another 8 seconds over. By the time I'd done 3 kilometres over my target pace, I'd almost lost it in my head. And you start thinking about, my legs are aching a bit. I'm getting a bit tired. Then you're sort of like thinking, well, I'm not going to go for a PB. You start making excuses in your head. You've got that fight, that battle. We all know what it's like. That last 10K, it's a fight. It's a battle, no matter where you are. As you said at the start of this, marathons are bloody hard. No matter who you are and how many of them you do, they are really hard. So I started that battle in my head. And I suppose I don't think I come away knowing that I won that battle in my head. So that my last 10K wasn't what I would have liked it to have been. But as you said, overall, well, it was the first time for a long time where I've sort of come out and said what I want to do at a marathon. To be fair, again, that's thanks to Ben, because the way he says it, he just comes out with, or you tell him to say it, whatever way around it is. Yeah, you tell him he's going to do this, and everyone knows about it. And that brings a lot of pressure. So I've always been quiet about that and just seeing how I feel on the day. But I always said in this one, I would like a sub 3:20. I think I had it in my mind that I'd like a PB, ultimately, my A goal. I didn't get that, but I got the sub 3:20. So it's my B goal. But ultimately, as soon as you finish, you know what it's like. You start analysing it in your head and you get a little bit, I should have done that. Why did I muck about there? Why did I do this? But then ultimately, by the next day, you've had a few beers and stuff, and you know what, all's good. It's all happy. You got the medal. Come home. And it was a decent enough performance. Yeah, to be honest, overall, yeah, I'm happy with it. I do feel, I feel as though it's a little bit of a defining moment for me. I do think now I am done forever with chasing a PB, especially at marathon distance. I feel as though maybe it is peaked. Maybe I peaked a couple of years ago. I don't know. I do feel
Wilco
as though
said that.
He did. I was in the right frame of mind. I had a good training block, done a lot of cross training, felt good, and couldn't PB. So it was a flat course, to be fair. Conditions were all right. It was warm. It's quite nice. I didn't PB. So sometimes you've got to accept these things, and maybe that's what's made it a little bit of a dampener for me, because I found that a little bit more difficult to take, I suppose. But hey ho, we go on. As Marissa said, Chicago next week. Let's just start going out now. Maybe I'll start enjoying them and even a little bit more than I have done before. I don't know what the answer is.
I think you should be proud of your efforts. 3:19 any day of the week, brother, is good. You've had a good solid training block. I think you've done exceptionally well. I was very proud of you.
Thank you.
Right, I'm going to...
Sorry, was that something nice you just said to me?
No, I was talking about Ben.
Okay.
Before we come on to Silly
yeah,
Bollocks,
yeah.
I'm just going to talk briefly, because I do want to give a shout out to Simon, who if you've not seen the video, go and check it out. Remember, you need to subscribe to this YouTube channel, by the way. We're trying to get to 22 million subscribers. And it's really important, because when we get to 22 million subscribers, I'm going to name and shame all the YouTubers who actually review running shoes but don't run in them. I'm going to name and shame them all when we get to 22 million subscribers. I'm going to tell you all the stories about them, all the rumors that are going around about certain runners and things like that. I'm going to tell them all at 22 million. So make sure you subscribe. Anyway, that's I want to give a shout out to Simon, because if you not see the video, Simon. So I was running along. I was, cocking about as usual. 8:30 per mile, 8:20 per mile. Lovely, thanks very much. Quite happy. Just trying to get myself around like I do, coming back from injury and things like that. I got a call at mile 16. Simon wasn't very well. I was obviously very worried about him. I then sped up as best I could at mile 16 to go and make sure he was right. He'd been sick and things like that. What he didn't tell me was that he was actually continuing to walk, and he was already 20 minutes ahead of me. Now, you work out the math, that was going to take me a little while to catch that up. So what I then proceeded to do over 4 miles was basically kill myself. I turned up and, yeah, he was, not brilliant, but basically he had a bottle of Coke and then went, right, FORDY, let's go. I went, I ain't going anywhere, bruv. I can hardly talk, let alone run. I've absolutely broken myself. But I want to give him a shout because to go out hard like that, you have to have a certain mentality, right? He owned it on Saturday. He went, I'm going to have something. So he'd had a brilliant training block. He'd done the biking thing, wherever it was, 100 and something miles. He'd done the serpentine in about 10 minutes, swum that 2 miles. He'd had a brilliant training block. He was like a beast, wasn't he, Ben, over at Harlem this year? He was, honestly, he was in the form of his life. And he really owned the fact that he wanted to go out aggressively and go for a PB. And I respect that. Because a lot of people and I'm one of them, will step back from that and go, oh, what happens if I blow up and all this sort of stuff. But he totally owned it. He went off like a nutcase, right? And blew up. He was sick and that's not very nice. Don't ever want to get into that position. But, he was comfortable in the fact that could happen. And I wanted to give him a shout out because he didn't get the result that he wanted. We literally just squeezed under 4 hours, mainly because I slowed him down because I'd broken myself trying to catch him up, make sure he was all right. And that was important to me, obviously. That's the first thing I thought was to catch him up and make sure he was all right. And he would have done the same for me. We'd all do the same for each other. But then to see him, come across that line, firstly, all right, but to understand that, that takes guts to go out and really own something from the thing, and then to still run under 4 hours. I think that was only his second time under 4 hours anyway. Yeah. He walked, right? Listen to this. He walked for 18 minutes. We checked his Garmin. He'd done walking for 18 minutes and still went. So that's how fast he went off. So it's incredible. So I just want to give him a shout because the result is not what he wanted, but the training was so good, and I hope he builds on it. So I wanted to give him a bit of love today because he did deserve that, because that's tough to go out and go completely Billy Big Bollocks. We've got 13 minutes to discuss. I mean, what's the best way to describe him, Marissa?
Is that enough time?
No, because he's had that special episodes. We're not going to do a whole special episode on him. It's just
why?
Because we can't do a special episode every time he PPs because it'll be like boring. It's just getting ridiculous now. He's got such a good coach. Yeah, he's just going to keep progressing the whole time. See what I did there. Marissa, what's the best way to describe Ben?
Oh my God, I love Ben so much.
You love Ben. That's not okay. Yeah, one word description.
I don't know how to describe it.
Gangly.
You're meant to be nice here.
Wow.
Gangly superhero. That's what I call him. Yeah.
That doesn't
gangly superhero.
Hayden, Jana, she loved every minute of the Burning Man. So I'm glad you did, and I'm pleased that somebody's enjoyed that. So good to hear the positive side of things as well. Hayden, how would you describe Ben in one word?
Legend. I'm being nice. Legend.
We're going to use the other word.
I was going to say hashtag predator. But...
I didn't say hashtags. If it was hashtag, then you could have used that one.
We'll go with legend. We'll go legend.
I don't think Hero gives him. I don't think Hero gives it, because I use that word a lot. I don't think that's right. It needs to be something more amazing than that. I would say humble, because he is. Because just to backtrack, 6 months ago, if you've never listened to this show, firstly, you're probably upset about what we said about Berlin Marathon, but please email haydenharper@hotmail.com if you are.
That is my actual email address, Sob.
Not my problem. But 6 months ago, Ben turned around on this podcast, this award-winning podcast that'll probably get taken off the air next week, said, I'm going to go sub-3 in Berlin. And we all looked at him and went, and I knew, because obviously I coach him, right? So I was just like, okay. And then everyone looked at him. It's a bold statement. But he has owned that for 6 months, right, owned the fact that he was going. He's been training like a maniac. He's been dedicated, right? If you ever want to know, and I can do a podcast about this, we won't have him on, about his training. He executed the plan I gave him, which is on our, on a thing that we do, but he executed it to the letter of the law, right? We adjusted some stuff because the way we coach, we adjust stuff literally. We can do it on a daily basis, right? But to be fair to him, he nailed everything. And the reason he did that sub 3, because he had the right mentality, and as always, he was so consistent. Every week, mileage, bang, what he needed. Target goal pace work, dang, bang. Hard effort stuff, bang, done. Thanks very much. And he was eating it up for fun. He listened when he had a little, and I know he's here, but I'm telling him, man, when he had a little niggle, he listened. I gave him a bollocking, and he listened, and he took the coach's advice, and he backed off, and we eased him off a bit, and he listened to that 100%, and then he came back stronger from it. He did the work in the gym, which is what we should all be doing. Yeah, I know, Hayden, you benefited from the cross training and stuff like that, and same with you, Marissa, with the swimming and things like that. Don't ever underestimate the power of the gym. He's eaten better. He quit the fags a year ago, which was a positive as well. So, he committed 100%. He said he was going to do sub 3, and he put his heart, body, and soul into that. He committed. He gave up. He sacrificed, because that was his one goal, and he achieved it by doing those things. And I would say to all of you who's listening to this, even if you are from Adidas and the Berlin Marathon, you need to also do the same thing, which is commit, be consistent, and believe in yourself. Because ultimately, he had the bollocks to turn around and go, I'm going to go sub 3. And he believed that. Even on the last training run we did together, I think we did, was it 80 miles, Ben? I can't remember. Was it 80
Yeah,
miles?
I think it was, yeah.
It was like, yeah, I'm sub 3. Like, not even like, and he picked, to tell you how much he knew that he was going sub 3. He picked up a pacing band thing. All right, it was in kilometers and he's trained in miles. That's how thick he is. But he picked up a 255 wristband, not a 3, a 255. That told you he was going deep. Yeah, so he owned that, and that's a word of advice to all of you listening to this. And it doesn't matter if it's 5K or a marathon. If you believe in yourself, you will achieve it. Yeah, I want you to take that away from this episode. Believe in yourself, and you will achieve whatever that is. Ben's was a sub 3. He achieved it through pure, sheer determination and belief in himself throughout his training plan. He was a hero. I will say that I couldn't talk to him for half a day, because every time I went to talk to him, I cried, because I was so proud of him. That's genuinely true. You asked Abin. I tried to talk to Abin. I couldn't. Every time she mentioned, I cried, because it's just that pride, which I don't think I train with Ben every week. To see him do what he's done, it's amazing, because he was a terrible runner when I got older. Terrible runner. Still look at his form. It's awful. But it's true. Like, look at the journey. But it's the same for anybody listening to this. You're all on that journey, and you can end up. Well, please don't end up like him. But you can be
your best.
Yeah, what you want to achieve. So Ben,
the thing is as well, the whole club is so proud of Ben. Literally everybody in the club is he's really lifted everyone's spirits. It's been really good to watch you.
He's got a very good coach. Now, Ben.
Oh, has he? Really?
I don't know who he is. FORDY. You've got, I'm going to give you, because I don't want to waste any more time talking about it, because I'm quite bored about it now. You've got 6 minutes to tell everybody your experience of running that. But don't focus necessarily on the time, because I think the time's irrelevant, actually, to go out and do a PB under that pressure and feel that heat. Go.
So firstly, thank you to everyone. Like, I do want to put that out there. Thank you to everyone. Like, kind of Instagram and Facebook blew up, and getting that was just like incredible, and kind of almost the support meant more than kind of the time in a way. You guys saw me at the start, right? As much as I sit here, and I will say that probably one of the most stupid things I can now look back and go, it was fine, but the pressure that I'd kind of put myself under until the morning of the race, I don't think I felt that pressure. And then the nervous energy started kicking in, and almost that thing of what, going out, for the halves and stuff like that and saying, I'll do sub 1:30 and things. Do you know what? I'll do a half next week. I can do another, you can't do that with a marathon. If I knew if I was going full out, I'm not going to be able to kind of replicate that in a couple of weeks. So I think it dawned on me in the morning. I was like, right, this is all in, and I've got one opportunity to nail it. So I did start feeling the pressure in the morning. I think, Hayden, you were probably stood next to me on the start line and saw that sudden shift in my
focus.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I noticed it when I noticed that both of us were weeing on an electrical cable.
Was you really?
Clearly, you wasn't thinking straight. Carry on.
Yeah, when you
That's
said that
true,
to
by
me.
the way.
I've got video evidence.
No one wants to see it. Keep it.
Brilliant.
No, I wanted to post it on Insta, but Admin wouldn't let me.
It is brilliant.
It is good.
I love when you said that. And I think it really helped having you guys in the pen and there being a group of us, because that, in the starting pen, just because that almost took my mind off it a little bit. And yeah, I train in miles. I don't train in kilometers, and knew that there weren't any mile markers. And I swear last year the GPS in Berlin was pretty much spot on, and this year it was.
Last year was a massive upgrade.
Yeah, and this year it was completely out of whack. So yes, I'd got the 255 wristband because my stride pod was saying 255.58, and I just thought I'd rather be significantly under it and blow up than kind of be come in at 3 hours and 1 second. So yeah, I'd got that. I'd written on my hand times to get me in at 2:59.10, but just in miles. And then we started, and it was kind of go time, really. I have to say, for me, it was probably mentally one of the toughest marathons I've done. I think the doubts kicked in very early on this one. We talk about that kind of mental block coming in at 16 to 20. I said to you, Chris, I think for me it came in about 7 miles on this one. Suddenly that little voice in the back of my head is going, you haven't run this fast for this long. I've only done it to 13 miles. So I had that in my head, and I had music on the whole time. Like at the majors, I typically would have it on. I might just click it on and off and stuff. So I did an hour of listening to David Guetta. Then I put Kylie on for an hour just because why not? And then did another hour of David Guetta. Just that's my kind of running music. But there was so many. Almost, what was really nice, I have to say, was looking at the splits afterwards and kind of. Actually, I've always talked about my struggles with pacing, and actually for each 5K they were within an average. I think every kilometer was basically 2 or 3 seconds either side, which I was so pleased with. And I basically just tried to keep as consistent as I could with the time. I was trying to keep around 6:45 minute miles, as I said, I think the mental battle was like, oh, is my leg cramping? And then it's like, no, that's meant, like everything I was just trying to say, no, that's just that, the monkey on your shoulder telling you that you can't do it. I think the fact that I put it out there actually did get me through, because there was, I think when that first mental doubt creeped in, part of me was like, oh, at which point am I going to pull out of this and save it for Chicago? And then I think, in Big Half, people said, which point did you know you were going to come in under 1:30? And I'd said around 10.5 miles. Which point did I know I was coming in sub 3? On this was probably at 41 kilometers, 41.5 kilometers. I just did not want to take that for granted and just be, knowing the course. Chris, you asked me, did that help? Not until the last 2K, you kind of come past. I think it's the library, and you do like a little, a right, a left, a right, bear around and see the Brandenburg Gate. So that at that point, I was like, right, I just need to get this. And we came through the gate, and I looked, and I was like, oh, it's just clicked over into 2:56. I can get under 2:57 here and just put a shift in. And there's a picture which I posted with my victory picture, and I think someone commented and went, oh, the people behind you don't look in the greatest of shape. And I hadn't even noticed. There was just like people draped over the barrier and stuff like that. And I don't know, for me it was just that wow, I have done it. As much as I believed in myself and had that self-confidence, I think the realization, sub 3 it's a big, I want to swear, but it's a big deal, right? Like, and that's relative for me. For other people, it'll be the sub 4, it'll be the sub 5
Ben,
and things like that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter whether you're a 7-hour marathon and you're trying to get to 6.5. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's a personal goal that you said that you wanted to achieve. Yeah, you put it out there and you owned it and you trained hard, like I said, and you believed that you was going to do it. You own that shit. The best thing is though, is that I spoke to him and then he said to me, "Yeah, probably could have gone faster." I'm just going to say that he did. Honestly,
only a little bit, but
only a little bit. But he actually said he could go faster.
Again, it's the mental aspect, right? Of I've not gone this fast before, so I don't know. And so it was just, having that. What I used the 2:55 pacing band for was more on the kind of, okay, how far behind am I? It was always around 90 seconds, and it just gave me a little bit of comfort. We all look for those little things that we've got. What was really nice was I went back out, I kind of came back to meet Tracy and Sabrina. Massive shout out to those two, and everyone's supporting, but in particular those two. I then kind of went over, they were like, we're by the hotel, went and cheered everyone on. And there was, a few people, honestly, mid-marathon coming up, hugging me and asking me if I'd done it. That blew my mind that people were even, kind of still more focused on my time than theirs running the marathon. It was,
but that says everything about this club and this community.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think.
Sorry, Chris. Just before you wrap up, say one thing. I just want to say thank you to the amount of people that come up to you as well, all of us throughout the whole weekend that said they love the Long Run Show. They love listening to it.
Yeah.
So many of you that come were saying like it's really helped them with everything they do. They think it's the most funniest thing. It's the best podcast. We love it. Keep coming up. Keep telling us. Honestly, it's absolutely, especially I give a big shout out to Jane Morris. I think it is. She absolutely loves it.
No, she likes me more than you. Remember?
Her son, who's got into running, listens to the podcast, young lad, come 8th out of something like 1,000 kids recently across country, and he listens to the Long Run Show. So
I hope he didn't listen to this one where I'll be swearing the whole way through it.
Probably, yeah.
Sorry, what's his mum's name?
Jane.
I apologise. So that's Ben's fault. No, I've got worked up. You can blame Adidas and Berlin Marathon. So that's it, really. I think is that the Berlin Marathon unboxed? I think actually we stomped on the box. To be honest with you, we kicked the box.
You did, yeah.
You've got to be honest. There's no point window dressing these things.
Let me ask you one question, just quickly. Is it the worst marathon you've done out of all your marathons?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Fair enough. That's fair.
I've done a few. I mean, I've even done like Eton, where you run up and down the bloody rowing pit thing for about 100 days or whatever it's called.
Dorney.
No, not Dorney. No, Eton, whatever it is. Yeah, Dorney. I've got whatever it is. I've done that. So I know terrible. I've done terrible ones, but no, I would say I actually preferred. This is how bad that was. I actually preferred running around that airfield with Ben, which was a 20-mile race, yeah. And it was about, and I'm not joking, it was about 72 laps, and it was a field that was extremely windy with nobody out there, and we was all running around like lemmings. And it was a 20-mile race, and it was so boring. After a mile, I said to Ben, "I'm bored. I want to go home." It was worse than that. Honestly, it's just the only thing no, actually, that's wrong. I hated the race. I loved the Berlin Marathon weekend because I loved being with you lot. I loved being with my mates. I loved being away and having fun. I loved speaking to people who listen to this podcast, who are subscribed to this YouTube channel, to speaking to people in the hotel that didn't have a kettle. Don't ever stay at the Inter something hotel. It's an absolute dive. It's a joke. Don't ever stay there. Didn't have a kettle. But I really, really loved my weekend away. Don't get me wrong. I loved it because I was with FORDY Runs Running Club, FORDY Runs Running Community, and the people within it. And I think if you bottle that up and take that anywhere, it's an awesome experience. I think, actually. And you can be running the worst race in the world. And actually, it's brilliant because you're with those guys and girls. And I think ultimately that's the thing for me. I had a great weekend because I was with you lot. And that's really it. You know, so for me, that's what it's all about. I couldn't really give a shit about the race itself. It's being with you guys. That's what I love doing. And I think that's a great way to end it, because this weekend we're going to be busy again, people. We're going to be out there influencing across the country, as always. So next week we are here. I'm going to be at the Manchester half influencing, but I'm going to dial in and try my best not to upset anybody. Next Friday, Tobe's going to be in charge of the buttons. Wilco's here. And I think admin's actually here. And believe it or not, I think she's even done some running. She's decided to stop being lazy, and she's actually done some.
She's with me on Sunday. Kingston
she?
Half Marathon. Yep. She's doing a 10K.
She's doing 10K. So that's good news. So we've got admin back out there, which is good news. So she's going to be here next week telling me off probably about this episode. And that's it. So, yes, we shall see you all soon. Have I left anything else out? I don't think I have. I'm going to give Ben the honour because he just about got under sub 3. Where's the outro? There it is. Ben, take us out.
Bye, boys.